Okay, the last time I made bread was a miserable failure. Hopefully this time it won't be. We'll see. Same deal, 500 grams of flour. Do about 200 of all-purpose white unbleached, and then the balance as wheat. I'm gonna do around 75% hydration because last time I think I was sitting right in the mid 80. I think it was like 82 or something like that. And I just have not had any luck with hydration over about 77%. So we're we're gonna lay it back real hard and do 75. And we can always add a little bit of water as we're doing our folds or in the starter process. The next process in about an hour. It's 9 in the morning right now on a Saturday. So hopefully we can get a good piece of a good loaf of bread this week, but we'll see. I can already feel it's just a bit drier already from this point, which is what I want. I don't want it bone dry, but I don't want it floppy or gooey or anything like that. It just needs to be, there's that Goldilocks temperature. It is the middle of August in Houston, so it's been 100 the last couple of weeks, so it's just gonna continue to be oppressively hot outside. So I don't know, we'll see how it comes. Okay, it comes together really quick sometimes, so let me do this. So got a greased bowl. Leave it in the grease bowl, let it rest for an hour, and then we'll get to our next step. Alright, my starter is lifting up the top. Ooh, it went down a little bit. I think it went down because the top pushed it down. But it smells good. I fed it, what is it? Right around 10 o'clock. I fed it around 10 hours ago now. So I kept it a little bit dry this time around. We'll see how that goes. Let me get my scale going. 15 grams of salt. Let's take a look at our dough here. A little bit dry, tiny bit of a skin, but I think I always err better on the side of a bit drier than more moist. It got pushed down a decent amount. I hope it's not already. I found that it peaks around, usually it would peak around 12 hours, but maybe it's peaking around 8. He's definitely stiffer, which is fine. I'm really, because of how badly last loaf went, I'm just like once bitten, twice shy over here. I'm trying to make sure I don't overhydrate, and I just keep it within a reasonable amount of like moisture. Well, we'll see. All right. I got dogs wandering the house, so I gotta get moving, but it looks good. It's holding together all right. The starter is incorporated. Just gotta let it sit for an hour, and then we'll be back. All right. So it's been about an hour. Get my hand nice and wet so it won't stick. Get my phone out. So I'm playing it safe this week and keeping it pretty dry, relatively to at least the last one. So feels good, still feels nice. I think the moisture is okay. I think something to do here is to leverage the stickiness on the bowl and let it stretch out a little bit. So, okay, now it sits up a little bit more. See, the idea is to give it firmness so that way it sits like that. So tomorrow when I blast it in the oven to 500 degrees, it'll just pop up instead of go out. We'll see. But so far it looks good. Has a nice jiggle to it. It does have moisture in it, it's not saturated as much as it was last week. So cover, and we'll be back in an hour for fold 2. Smells right. It's handling pretty good. I feel it's holding together really well. So that's fold 2. In an hour, we'll do our final fold. It's only a little bit jiggly, but that's not a problem. Stretch is pretty nice. Pretty tight. I think it feels okay. I always think maybe I should have put a little more water in, but then I did that last time and it didn't really pay off at all. So that's the last fold. I think everything's looking pretty good. Let me do this. I'm stretching it pretty nicely and it's holding together really well. So I'm going to put it in a nice ball in the bottom. Now what should happen is it should just relax out. So I'm going to let it sit for an hour and then we'll work on shaping it. So we'll shape it and put it in the Bannaton and then we'll proof it. But first got to wait for an hour. Dough. Got a lot of air pockets in it, maybe. Ooh, that's not good. That's fine. We'll make it work. It feels better at least. We'll see. Try to build that tension up on the inside. Build it up. So that way it will work better. There you go. It's smoothing out on top. That's good. So there we go. Looks all right. One thing I like to do is mostly it has dual purpose, which is nice. I take a picture of it. This is before proofing, obviously, and then I can get a decent gauge for how much it's expanded. What I want, perfect world, you see how it looks now? It would completely fill in the thing and rise up just a hair above the lid of the lip of this thing. We'll see how it goes. I have the oven set to proofing, which is around 100 degrees. I could really just put it outside and like put it in the shade and it would probably just, but I'm afraid of bugs because this thing is a fly magnet. So in there, in the oven, I'm gonna look at it in about an hour, but it's usually around 2 hours of proofing and then we'll be good to go. All right, it's the next morning. Let's see what we got. I had it on an uneven surface and it kind of like bowed, but I think that's fine. I think what'll happen is we can, it'll even out because it's gonna lay there, but it looks okay. Feels a little bit jiggly, which is nice. Do 3 little ones like that, and we're good to go. All right, we'll get nice and hot. Get this sucker in here and get moving. Okay. Now we wait, set a timer for 20 minutes, and we'll see how it goes. Alrighty, let's get this thing out. See what we got. A little bit of redemption, I think. Look how much it popped up. It's pretty good. Not the best loaf in the world, but see how it went up instead of out? It mostly kept its shape, his oblong shape, instead of just turning into like a blob. Lift it up. Big ears on it. Look at the ears on that thing. So, it's not the best loaf in the world, but it's leaps and bounds better than last time. So, looks good, smells good. It is 8:50 in the morning. I'll give this probably 4 or 5 hours, and we'll give it a cut and see what it looks like on the inside. All right, it's the next morning. Let's cut this sucker open and make some toast. I'm hungry. There we go. Nice surface area, pretty good crumb, a tighter crumb. I make sandwiches and stuff, so I don't need those big holes and stuff. There are some This is not a significant hole, but there are holes around. Not a big deal. I think relative to the last one, this is pretty great. I always think I not overcompensated, but probably overcompensated the other way just to make sure we fall in safe territory. But yeah, pretty good looking crumb. I'm gonna eat now.